Therapy Center, and today we're going to go over some exercises that are really easy to do over the holiday weekend when you don't have much time to do anything, or even when you're simply standing in the kitchen. Let's get started. So the first one that we're going to do is going to be a wrist flexor stretch. You're going to extend your arm out in front of you, just like you're waving, except you're going to turn your hand upside down. Your opposite hand's going to grab down on your fingers. You're going to pull down and you're going to hold this for 20 seconds 3 times. And the next stretch is going to be a wrist extensor stretch, and that's almost the same thing. While you're waving, you're actually going to bring your fingers down and you're going to hold for 20 seconds 3 times the same exact way. So the next stretch that we're going to be doing is going to be a pec stretch, which stretches out the muscles in the front of your chest. First thing you're going to do is raise your arm up by your side. You want a 90-degree angle at your shoulder and a 90-degree angle at your elbow, and then we're going to turn around and demonstrate it on the wall. You're going to hold that stretch for 20 seconds 3 times as well, and if you don't get a stretch just standing with your arm beside the wall, you're more than welcome to lean into the wall, lunging with the leg on the same side as your arm. And the very next stretch we're going to do is going to be a posterior shoulder stretch. It'll actually stretch out the back side of your capsule here. So you're going to bring your arm straight in front. You're actually going to cross it over to the other side. Your opposite hand's going to come and grab the outside of your shoulder. You're just going to pull it across your body, holding for 20 seconds 3 times. So the next stretch we're going to be doing is called a calf stretch. There's actually 2 versions. One will stretch your gastrocnemius, which is a muscle that lies on top of another. The underlying muscle is called the soleus, and we'll go over how to stretch both of them. So the best way to get this stretch is to stand facing the wall. You're going to place your hands on the wall about shoulder length away. You're going to take the leg that you want to stretch back behind you. And what you're going to do is place all of the pressure in your back foot, pushing back into your heel, keeping your back leg nice and straight. You're going to hold that stretch for 20 seconds 3 times. And then to stretch your soleus, you're going to make one minor change, and that's going to be to bend the back leg just slightly, trying to keep your heel down as much as possible. You're also going to hold this stretch for 20 seconds 3 times. The next stretch that we're going to do is going to be a quadricep stretch that stretches out the front of your thighs here. So a common way to do that is standing next to a wall. You're actually going to grab your shoe behind you, and you're going to stand upright, not leaning forward. And you're just going to hold this position for 20 seconds 3 times. The very last stretch that we're going to be doing is for your hamstrings. There's 2 ways to do this one. The first way is simply standing up tall. You're just going to reach down as if you're going to touch your toes. You're going to hold that for 20 seconds 3 times. And if you can't get this one here, you're more than welcome to sit down on the ground with your feet straight out in front of you, reaching for your toes this way. Also 20 seconds 3 times. A good thing to use is any type of can that you have sitting around, so any type of cranberry sauce, green beans, whatever you can find in your cabinet that's canned, that works just fine. They range at about 1 to 2 pounds a piece, which is perfectly fine. So the first thing we're going to do are bicep curls. You want to stand up nice and tall, pulling your shoulders back. So this is a common no-no. You want to make sure you're pulling your shoulders back with your chest out nice and broad. The first step is turning your palms up. You're going to grab the can, and you're just going to curl up to your shoulder and right back down. Let's shoot for 2 sets of 10 just to start. The next exercise is going to be an overhead press. So starting with your arms out to the side, you're going to go ahead and bend your elbows to 90 degrees with your palms facing up towards the ceiling. You're going to press straight up and straight down. Nice and simple, not too tough. 2 sets of 10 as well. And the last exercise we're going to do with our pineapple chunks that I have here is going to be an exercise working the front of your shoulders, and it's going to be the deltoid. So you are going to keep your palms down this time, and you are going to pull straight up and straight down. Keeping the shoulders back as well. It's going to be 2 sets of 10. So the next exercise that we're going to do with the cans is going to be a tricep extension, working the posterior, the back side of your shoulder. So what you're going to do is stand with your feet shoulder width apart. You are going to hinge at the hips, slightly. I don't want you to arch your back. Keep your chest tall. You're going to keep your elbow by your side. And then you're just going to kick your arms straight back without moving the location of your elbow. And you're going to shoot for 2 sets of 10, kicking straight back and bringing it right back in. Next exercise we're going to do, we don't need the pineapple chunks, so we'll put those down. And we're going to do an incline push-up on the wall. So all you're going to do is stand with your feet towards the wall. You want to be about shoulder length away, hands shoulder length apart. And you're going to lower yourself in towards the wall. And then you're going to push straight back. A common thing that you're going to do incorrectly is to dip your back. We want to prevent back injuries. So you're going to keep your tummy tight when working on these, and you're just going to lower yourself in and push it right back out. And these are a little more challenging, so let's just start with 10 of these. So next we're going to move on to the beloved squat. So this one is going to be, it's going to be very detailed in the beginning because squats are one of the most common exercises, but also most commonly done incorrectly. So what we're going to do is turn to the side so you guys can get a better view. You want to start by standing up nice and tall, shoulders are back. You don't want your pelvis tilted forward or backwards. You want to find a neutral spot. So keeping your tummy nice and tight, feet shoulder width apart. You can bring your hands out in front of you just to keep your chest upright. First thing you want to do is kind of stick your bottom back a little, and then you're going to squat down, keeping your knees behind your toes, and then pushing right back up. We're going to shoot for 2 sets of 10 on the squats. Now another variation of a squat is more of a wide leg squat to work out the inside of your thighs. So you're going to extend your feet distance apart. You're going to turn your toes outward just a tad. You're going to keep the same things that we were doing the first time. So you want to keep your bottom back and your knees behind your toes and arms out in front. So for this one you're going to sit back again. Then when you come up, you want to push through the inside of your legs to stand up nice and tall. So you're going to go down and squeeze through the inside, pushing up for me. I'll show you from the side. Same thing, arms out in front, tummy nice and tight. You're going to squat your bottom back, knees behind your toes, and you're going to squeeze through the inside. So the next exercise that we're going to do is going to be a step up. There's going to be 2 versions. The first step is going to be forward, and then we're going to turn to the side and do a lateral step up. So the first thing you want to do is get a step that's an appropriate height for you. So this height's probably about 8 inches off the ground. First thing you want to do is put your right leg on the box. You want to tighten your quads here. You're going to stand up nice and tall on the box, pushing through your heel. So you're going to push up, step your feet together, and then the focus is going to be coming down. When you come down, you want to step down with your left leg, and then you want to come down nice and slow. We'll show that again. I'll use my left leg this time. Left foot on the box. You want to push all the way up, nice and steady. And then when you come down, you're going to bend that left leg to lower your right leg to the ground for me. Now we'll move to the lateral step. So I'm just going to turn the step for me. And I'll face you guys using my left leg first. So we're going to take your left leg, step out on the side of the box. Pushing and using your glutes, you're going to push all the way up. And then you're going to step down, bending your left knee to come off slowly onto the step. I'll repeat that again. When you step down, you want to make sure you're not leaning forward. You actually want to tilt your bottom back a little bit. So you'll be here, sitting back a little bit more. Alright, so the next exercise we're going to do is a heel raise and a toe raise. These work the lower halves of your legs. So I'll show you 2 different versions again. One to strengthen the gastroc and one to strengthen the soleus. So you'll need some assistance, so you'll either have to stand next to a table or next to a wall. I'm going to use the wall here to my right. So you'll go ahead and turn towards the wall. You can place all of your fingers or just 2 fingers for balance. First thing you're going to do is step with your feet about hip width apart. And you're going to slowly go up on your toes, come down, and you're going to rock back on your heels. We're going to do 2 sets of 10. And this is working your gastroc, so one of your primary calf muscles. When you rock back on your heels, you're actually using muscle in the front of your leg called your anterior tibialis. Now to switch to the soleus stretch, you're going to slightly bend your knees, and then you're going to do a heel raise again. And that's going to be 2 sets of 10 as well. Alright, next we're going to move on to some core exercises, and we're going to start with the basic crunch. Very, very basic. So what you're going to do is lie down on the floor for me. You're going to lay back, so your back is nice and flat. You want to bend your knees and place your feet flat on the ground or table, whichever you prefer to use. I'm actually going to have you raise your hands straight up in front of you. A lot of people cross them across their chest or behind their neck. I like them in front just because it gives us a target on where to reach. So what I want you to do is engage your tummy. So tighten your tummy. I don't want you to suck in, but I want you to contract your tummy muscles. With your hands straight towards the air, you're going to crunch straight up and then right back down nice and slow. Another exercise that you can do is an oblique crunch. Just modifies that exercise by going to each side of your knees. So again, hands up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to reach over towards your opposite knee. So up to the left, and then up to the right. Still engaging your core, just rotating at the same time. Now another exercise that you can do with these is going to be for your lower abs, and it's actually called the lower ab exercise. So you're going to brace your tummy, keep your back nice and flat. You can use your arms as a brace here. You're going to bring both of your feet off the ground, and you're going to lower one heel down at a time. What you want to focus on is not arching your back off of the floor. You want to keep it nice and flat. The last exercise that you can do on your back is going to be a bridge, which activates those glutes in the back here. So again, lying nice and flat on the floor with your arms down by your side. You want to squeeze your glutes and tighten your tummy, and you're going to raise your hips towards the ceiling and then right back down. Nice and slow. If you can't raise your hips up as high as I am, that's perfectly fine. The whole goal is to be able to lift your bottom slightly off of the table to activate those glutes and hamstrings here. If you're having any trouble with these bridges, one of the things that you can do is tighten your tummy, tilt your pelvis, so flatten your back into the table, and then lift your hips up a little bit. So we're going to start with Russian twist. So you're going to brace your tummy. You're going to lean back just a little to engage your abdominal muscles. You can keep your hands here in the center, or you can hold a pillow, a can of pineapple chunks, or a giant jar of peanut butter. So with your hands here in the center, you're going to rotate to one side and then to the other. And you're just going to keep going back and forth. An advanced version of the bridges that we were doing a second ago is just going to be a one-leg bridge. So you're going to take your right leg, cross it over your left leg, bracing yourself with your hands. You're going to slowly raise your hips up and then down nice and slow. Again, that's going to be the same count, 2 sets of 10. One last advanced core exercise is going to be the lower abs, but with both feet going up and down at the same time. So your feet will start down at the bottom, bracing your core nice and tight. You're going to bring your knees up, keeping your back nice and flat. You're actually going to point your toes towards your face into dorsiflexion. You're going to slowly lower your heels down and then pull them right back up. You're going to shoot for 2 sets of 10 on these exercises as well. Alright, and the last thing we're going to do is just some basic cardio, which is just continuous movement to increase your heart rate. So what I'm going to have you start with is just marching in place. And for these, we'll start with 20 on each leg. But if you want to increase it and make yourself more tired using your cardio, you can do it for a certain amount of time. So I'd say maybe a minute of marching. If you're more advanced and can do more physical things, you're more than welcome to just jog in place. And if you're looking for one more challenge, you can opt for high knees. hopefully these exercises get you through your holiday weekend. They only take just a few minutes, so take some time out after you stuff yourself with that turkey and you get a nice nap. Let's get some exercises.